Welcome back to Cards and Comics. Today I'm going to be talking about my recent trip to Earthworld Comics in Albany, New York to pick up some cool books. Now, it's a place I've gone a few times in the past, and I go once or twice a year, and it's a place that a little out of the way for me, but it always has really good inventory, and it has things I really like, such as a lot of back issues of Spiderman, and a lot of cool variant covers. And it carries a lot of modern and new issues. So if I'm looking to complete a few runs, it's the place to go. So I'm going to start with kind of the books I pulled off the rack. They're books that just came out. The first one here is the variant cover to DC Vampires Killers. Obviously, this is the Todd McFarlane homage cover from Batman. I forget what issue it is, but the Batman cover that had this, classic McFarlane cape Batman cover that he went on to use for a lot of Spawn books. And this is kind of homage to that cover, and it's really cool. And so, really nice book. And again, not selling for much more than cover. But it's a book that, finding out in the wild is great because you don't have to pay shipping, on books like this. Next books up are going to be, I'll just do them in order here. So this is Fables number 151, continuation of the Fables story. I'm a huge Fables fan. And so I have all the trades and a lot, and like a couple copies of the first issue variant. So, I'm a big fan of the book. I think I even have the RRP, like issue 3 or 4. So, I'm a big fan of Fables. I'm a big fan of Bill Willingham all the way back to when he was on Elementals. So, it's just cool that they're continuing the story. I haven't read it yet, but I can't wait to read it. So there's 151. Here is 152. And then 153, which is the cardstock variant. So all three of the first issues have come up. I heard it's just one arc he's doing. So I don't know if it's going to be like 5 or 7 issues, but hopefully they keep going because I think it's a great universe. Honestly, it should have been done into other media. Because even though I actually liked Once Upon a Time, the TV series, it's not a bad series. It definitely isn't as good as Fables, and the story arcs in Fables are much better, in my opinion. So there you go. There is the first 3 issues of the new Fables series coming out. Now, next up is sort of why I went there to begin with, which is the variant covers that I love. I'm a big variant comic collector. Again, I'll repeat, I buy variant covers because I like the artwork, or to me, it's something to have that's a little different. When I go to shows, I find a lot of people collect characters, and they want books they don't see very often. And so the 1 in 25 and the 150s, if you can get them at good prices, and you can, go to Comic Cons and sell them under eBay, I do pretty good moving them. So I know a lot of people don't like them, but I seem to be able to buy and sell them pretty well. So first up, it is it's a hip hop variant, Red Wolf number 1, and this is the Del Mundo variant cover. And the cool thing about this book, it is a hip hop cover. It's Red Wolf until it fits into my collection because it's also a Native American cover. Again, I looked at pricing on this book. I bought it for $12 and it's going for about $15. So not a lot of, discount on this book, but it's a Native American book. And the hip hop covers, when I go to Comic Cons, I have tons of people trying to complete their hip hop cover set. And so they're really looking for the hip hop books. Even if they're minor characters like Red Wolf, obviously everyone's looking for the Miles, but they still want the other books. Next up is a Run the Jewels variant Cage number 1. And I just got this book because I thought it was just super cool. Just I thought it was such a cool looking cover. Cage number 1, Run the Jewels variant. It's selling for about $20 recently. But, again, the Run the Jewels variants are popular. The Deadpool Run the Jewels variant is still a really cool book. So I feel like the Run the Jewels variants are, again, a lot of people are trying to put all of them together. And there's not that many of them from what I remember. So just a fun book and something that, again, when I go to Comic Cons, I get people looking for these books. And this is one of those just cool ones. And again, it's $15, $20, not a huge cost. And again, on this trip, I didn't get any big books, so to speak. I didn't get any really huge books this time around. Last time I got a really cool American Chavez Bartel variant that was pretty expensive. So I did pick up another Bartel 1 in 25. It's the Superman and the Authority Bartel. And this is a cover I really enjoy, and I really like a lot of her work. This is again the 1 in 25. I like the kind of monochrome look to it. I like it's different than her other work. A lot of times she uses a lot of pastel colors and bright colors, and this one is just really different for her work. Just a nice looking cover. It goes for about $20, so I got it for $10, so I got it about half price. So to me, I thought it was a good deal, and an artist I like, and I felt like a very, very cool looking cover. Next up is a nice looking book from an artist that is hit or miss with me, but I know he's very popular. It's a 1 in 50 Wonder Girl number 1, and it is the Campbell cover. And again, it's a 1 in 50. And again, it's a very nice cover, and you can see it's very Campbell-esque in style and substance. It goes for about $20 to $25. The one thing I would say is that it sells pretty well also in the CGC 9.8. It's going for like $100 as a 9.8. So I feel like, this is a book that has some potential. The character is an interesting character, so I don't know. But you get kind of 5 Campbell girls on one cover in different formats. So I feel like it kind of delivers a lot of Campbell-esque elements on one book. And it's a 1 in 50 as well. So to me, it's a really good book that I know I'll get some interest in at a Comic-Con. And again, I got it for $10, selling right now for about $20 on eBay. And again, the 9.8 selling for about $100. So to me, that was good value. Next up is a book I normally would never pick up because it's a series I'm not that interested in, but I like the artist, Dan Mora. And this is Task Force Z1, The Villains, 1 in 25. And again, it's just I do like the cover, just because I like the artist. Again, it's a 1 in 25, and it's selling for about $15 to $20. And I picked it up for $10. So not a huge discount again, but it's one of those books that I'm sure there's going to be people out there looking for. And it's a 1 in 25. And it's a nice cover, and I feel like it's very representative of his work. And, I just grabbed it because I thought it was, again, good value. And the artist is someone I do like. Next up is a book that I picked up because I'm starting a PC, and I know I shouldn't start new PCs because I already collect too much stuff, so I should be limiting PCs. But it makes sense because I've been collecting. I have the Native American collection. I'll focus a lot on Echo and Danny Moonstar. I have my collection. I really like. I will collect Spider-Gwen and Harley Quinn covers if I like them. But I collect every Death cover no matter what. It could be the ugliest cover in the world, but I collect every Death cover. And I've started to take the same approach to Zatanna. And the reason why I do is because Zatanna and Death don't have hundreds and hundreds of covers. Harley Quinn, you can't collect every one. Same way for a lot of Spider-Gwen has a ton of covers too. So I'm just selective on their covers. But for Zatanna and Harley Quinn, they just don't have a ton of covers. And so to me, I feel like I could probably collect them in general and get most of them. This is Bombshells number 3. Um, and it goes for about $15. Because I do think it's one of those series that has tons of good covers, a lot of fun covers for the series. I do think, Zatanna on this cover, looks a little different than sometimes she looks like, but it's a Bombshells version of Zatanna, so it makes sense. And again, you'll see it in some other videos that are going to be coming out. I'm picking up a lot of Zatanna covers, so this is kind of not the first one. So if you go back into like when I went to Terrificon, not this year but last year, I picked up the first and the last Zatanna book in the Adam Hughes run, cover run, and so I have those 2 books, which are kind of pretty big Zatanna books. So I've been going back and picking up the rest of that series, which is kind of pricey for the Zatanna series back in the day, with the Hughes covers, kind of like some Catwoman covers. But getting modern or newer Zatanna covers is fun, because in general she doesn't bring as much as Harley Quinn or some other covers that are out there. Now this is the one I just picked up because it was in okay shape. I don't have this one, so it's a Amazing Spider-Man 318. It's a McFarlane cover. Again, they have a good selection of McFarlane books and covers, so I grabbed it. It's worth about $15. I paid $14, so they're not giving discounts on McFarlane Spider-Man books. It's it's a Scorpion cover, and again, not a newsstand, but still, a book that I can at least check off on my list. Next up is Dark Crisis number 1. This is the foil 1 in 100 Capullo variant, going for about $30. And again, I picked it up for $19.99, so around $20. You can see the foiliness on it. I don't go for these gimmick covers too much, but this was, one that I do like, the Dark Crisis, from a series and just from having, books in the series to sell, because it is pretty popular right now. I'll be setting up a Comic-Con sometime soon, so I figured this would be a book I could put out on display. It's a 1 in 100. It's not too expensive, so it's one of those ones I think if I price it like $25, I pay $20. It gets people to kind of look at my stuff. So again, you can see on the back it says, Dark Crisis number 1, and then there's some more information, 1 in 100. Capullo. And next up is a book I love a ton. I probably have like 5 or 6 copies of it already, but it's Iron Man number 12, the Raza Miles DJ variant. I just love this cover. I have, again, about 5 or 6 covers, or 6 copies of this. So, nice cover. I like this cover. I got a lot of them. They go for about $12 to $15. I paid $10. So not a big gain, but, a 9.8 does bring about $70. So, the Raza, DJ variant is cool. Now, next up is probably the second best deal I got in terms of just, value, or just, kind of a big book. It's not really that big of a book, but it's another hip hop book, but it's Spider-Man 2099. And this is, again, the hip hop cover. I paid $25 for it, and it goes for about $35. And it's one I don't see that often. And so I think this character is getting a lot more popular. And I think I'm going to be able to take this to a lot of, to Comic Cons and have just, some of these, books. But a 9.8 is bringing about $130. So it is one that people, like to get and grade. There you go. Paid $25. So, a $10 room to sell. So, and I think it is a book you'll see people really looking for. Now, The next book is one that is really interesting because it's a 1 in 25. It is a Symbiote Spider-Man #2 Crossroad. So it's the vertical variant. So it looks like this. If you do it vertically or horizontally, I can't think right now. But there you go. It's a really, really cool, kind of like, again, monochrome looking cover. Nice use of I call, like, the spatial arrangement on the book to make it look really, really cool and just different. But the cool thing about this book, in my opinion, besides being just an awesome looking cover, is that it's worth about $25 right now, and I paid $10. So that's a lot of good room there. But a 9.8 to bring in $232. That's the last sell. So this one definitely is one that's probably hard to grade, but it is popular, and I've seen a lot of sales. So that book seems to be pretty popular. Next up is a book for my Native American collection. It doesn't have a recent eBay sale, but I just priced it at the cheapest one that's available on eBay. So you got to add shipping to it. So it's like $20 is the cheapest listing, but you still got to pay for shipping. So it's a 1 in 25. It's a Varegi Native American cover. Again, I'm a Native American collector, so this makes sense. But it's the Captain America #3 with the Native American Captain America. So it ticks a lot of boxes on my collecting goals. It's a variant. It's a Native American comic. And again, I think, no recent sales, but everything's listed $20 and above. So I think if I, price at $15, I'd probably sell it, but it's going into the Native American collection. And I do like these Native American covers. And so this was just kind of fun to find. And again, not a lot of sales on eBay. So it's either very unpopular or just not a lot of books to choose from. I believe it was a 1 in 25. Yeah, it's a 1 in 25. So a little harder to find. And then last but not least is the Bullseye #1 hip hop variant. And this is, again, the hip hop variant. So again, I didn't clean out their hip hops because some of them were overpriced. And so I just got the ones that had a little room left on them. This one brings about $20 and I paid $9 for it. And so I have a little room on it to sell. So just a nice book. So no real big hitters in this round of comic books from the store. I feel like there was some bigger books there, but they didn't have them priced right. I mean, I don't mind paying full eBay price, but they were above eBay pricing, and so that just I couldn't touch them at that price point. And two things were also going on. One is their air conditioning was broke, so digging through the boxes to find the hip hops and the Captain American books and the Amazing Spider-Man books, that took a lot of time, and I was hot, I was sweating, it was very uncomfortable, it was very muggy in the store. Again, their air conditioning broke on a pretty hot day, so that made it really, really tough. And then there was a very interesting sign at the front desk. It did say that we'll honor the first price, or said for any book that you buy multiple copies of, we honor the first price we honor the price on the first book, but every book afterwards we're going to go to eBay value. And I thought that was interesting because trying to game the system. So I could see where they're going to be like, yeah, so if you come and get 5 copies of a Spider-Man book we have, and they're going for 30 and we have them at 15, so we sell you the first one at 15 and the rest at 30, so we make more money. But I'm thinking, like, what if they had 5 Spider-Man books and one was priced at 25 and on eBay they're going for 15? Would they take the $25 and make you pay that for the first one and give you the rest for 15? Does it work both ways? So that was an interesting sign up, but it was a different one that I've seen in a lot of stores, which are either we honor the prices or we'll look them all up. This one was, if you have multiple copies, we look them up. So it's kind of like a little bit in between. So very interesting, cool store again. Had a lot of fun just digging through some books. I didn't have my kids or my wife with me. They're out seeing family. So I had time to sit there and dig and not worried about people being upset because I'm doing that, or giving you the look. Sometimes you get the look like, okay, we got to go. So it was fun. So hopefully next time I go, I'll be able to find some bigger books. But this time around, it was a lot of smaller books, but still a lot of cool books. So there it is. It's my LCS trip update, and hope to see you next time on Cards and Comics. Bye.